Hey everybody, I'm Kathy Hester and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be talking about an appliance I love for my new series about appliances, and I use a lot of appliances. Please know that I'm not saying you need all of these, but I want you to be aware of them in case this is something that could help you or save you money. What I'm not trying to do is fill your kitchen up with things you're not going to use. So for instance, if you don't like fluffy milk, this probably isn't the video for you, but if you love cold foam, if you like lattes, if you like to put kind of a steamed fluffy, I call it fluffy milk because I just think that's more fun, and you're not actually steaming it, right? We're actually putting air in it. So what does this appliance do? And we're not talking about the whole Vitamix today. We're just talking about this one container, and it's called the Vitamix Aer, A-E-R. And I'm going to show you this disc because it's different than the others. Okay, and what I want you to notice in there is there's not really blades, right? But what that does is it adds air, which is why it's called the Aer Disc, right? And it does have another purpose too, but for today I'm just going to be demoing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make cold foam for my iced coffee. So I have some cold brew coffee here. We're not going to put that in here. This is just going to be to fluff up that foamy, beautiful, thick milk. You can add some sweetener in there if you want. If you want to get the best, thickest foam, you're going to pretty much just foam the milk. So like if we're thinking about something like Starbucks pumpkin cold foam, you could put some syrup in there. I think the heavier that you're making this, like let's say we're putting pureed pumpkin in there, putting things like that, it's actually not going to get as light and fluffy. And if you're okay with that and you love pumpkin, because I do, I would be okay. Just realize what's going on. First off, you're probably going, well, how much is this going to cost me? I got mine for $99 last year, but it seems to be as high as $150. So if you don't find yourself going through Starbucks or another coffee shop getting a cold foam coffee or a latte quite often, this might not be for you. The other use, because it really doesn't have a lot of uses, you can make, you can't really make aquafaba in here, you know, because they do make meringues and things, but that's with real eggs. So the aquafaba has so far not proven to work very well in this. So you're looking at it for foam, and you can also make really nice cocktail mixers with this by slicing citrus fruit, putting it in here and straining it, and we'll do that in another video. So if, again, one of those two things, if you're vegan and one of those two things doesn't work for you, this may not be the answer. The other thing is we're looking at these barista blends. And let me show you that also overhead so you can get an idea. There's a whole lot of these. Oatly has one, Califia Farms has some, Ripple, there's lots of things. Barista blend means that it's going to foam up and steam up really well. It also works really good in cold foam. Now what you're going to find is pretty much all of these will have a little bit of sugar in them. Let's see if this one, yeah, a little bit less than 2% sugar. So let's say the Ripple has 8 grams of fat and 5 grams of sugar. The Califia almond has 4.5 grams of fat and it has 5 grams of sugar. And what we'll probably do is we'll do one of each of these and see which one foams a little bit better. I like the Califia Oat Barista blend is one of my favorites, though the Ripple does tend to foam up with like a tighter foam. So if you're oil free, that could be an issue too, because I haven't found a barista blend that has no oil. And if you have one, please leave it in the comments to let us all know. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and I haven't used this Califia almond yet. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to shake it up really good. And that's really important. And I'm going to put about a half a cup in here. Well, I'll put a cup. Okay. And then we're going to put our lid on. The lid is just a hard plastic lid that clips on. So like a smoothie, you're going to put up the speed in increments. But what we're going to do to get this foam is we're going to leave it around 6 to 7 for a while, then increment it up to about 8 and leave it. And that's when we're going to notice that more of the air gets incorporated and that it fluffs up more. I'm going to be showing you through a side view, so I think you're going to get a really good view of what's going on. We may cut out a few of these things so that you don't see it for 5 minutes. I'm going to turn on the Vitamix. Okay. So one of the first things I want us to look at is if it got much bigger. So we can go longer than that. So we found out this is not quite as good, and I think it probably could use a little bit longer. So see, you can see the bubbles, and you can see the foam. And that's not too bad, but there's still a lot of milky parts. So I think that we need to do this a little bit longer. So let's get that back on there for a bit. And I'll let you look at it from this side this time. But you can definitely see there's some stuff foaming up. And you may have seen me kind of peek over there because I was like, this doesn't seem like the ripple, and it's not. So I think one of the things that we'll do, so this is a pretty loose cannon kind of thing. I'm not loving it, I've got to say. So what we'll do is we're going to pour a little bit of coffee in one. This is how I usually make it, and we'll make 2. You may want to put less foam or more foam. I could go ahead and add in my maple syrup now if I wanted to. And we'll add that foam. It is foamy, just not as foamy as I was hoping for. Okay, now let's try the ripple and see what that looks like. So this one is the Califia Barista. And the ripple had the reviews for this, in fact, from the very beginning when I got it, that this was the best. Some people don't love ripple milk. I'm going to put about a cup in again so we can get a little bit of the same idea. And the purpose of showing you more than one really is just so you can see that there's a difference. Just like when you're starting to try non-dairy milks for taste, you're going to want to find which barista blend gives you the texture that you want. So there's going to be a little bit of a journey to this, but it's worth it. Okay, so let's take a preliminary look at this one. And you can, I feel like it's already a little bit tighter. So you can see that's already tighter. I think it still needs to go a little bit longer, but let's say if we looked at these together, it's also a little bit wider. But see how the foam is just a little bit tighter. And that's more of a personal choice, right? How you like it. And I can see that there's a little bit more foam on here. We're going to let this run a little bit longer. Okay, so in this one, let's see if I can see the marks. The milk has increased here as well. So it's not just 1 cup anymore. And I like that. To me, that says a lot more air got incorporated. And I'm going to show you some of this too from underneath. All right, so the foam is up at the top too, and look how thick and firm that foam is. And so is this. This is way thick. Much, much, much thicker. And do you see how it goes down much further as well? And let me show you from the side. So see how firm this one is and how thick? And let's go ahead and make our other coffee, and then we can kind of take a look. And there's no right or wrong. And again, usually if I'm going to put a sweetener, and I drink my coffee really milky, so you may not. We could also just spoon some of this on top, and let you see what that would look like. And we could just spoon some of this on top if we wanted to, and we'll do a little bit of that too. But I want you to see how foamy that is. Like, it looks like steamed milk. And if you're getting cold foam lattes, this is actually what Starbucks is using. And look how pretty and how tight that foam is. And you're going to see it a little bit from the side too. So I could then, and I do this a lot with tea or cocoa, you can spoon that heavy top foam. And I find this is the tightest, fluffiest foam is the Ripple. Okay, and I want you guys to kind of see. So one of the things I want you to see is this is taking a while longer to incorporate because it's really hung together. This is more like frothy. There are a couple other ways that you can make your fluffy milk or your cold foam. You can use one of those little frothers, and we're going to do a video on that soon. You can get one of those machines that cost $50 to $150 that you can make cocoa, but really all it is the little end from the frother, the frothing wand. This is a much different product, and it should produce better results. But like we just saw, you've got to pick the right product that works for you too. But let's see if we can, I don't think we can see these as much overhead, but this is a significantly tighter foam. This is more like bubbly. So like, you know, you've got some foam in there. We've probably got about this much foam, whereas pretty much this is foam all the way through. And which one you like the best is really up to you. So if you look down below in the description, I'll give you a link if you're interested in getting this Aer Disc. If you want to ask me some questions about it, please do in the comments. If there's a kind of milk, like I was just thinking while I was filming this, that maybe we should do a milk trial using this and maybe get a bunch of different barista blends. So if you have a barista blend that you like a lot, let me know. We can also do a trial without it being barista, but chances aren't as good that it's going to foam. It's probably going to be not as good as the almond one. I have gotten close to ripple results with the Califia Oat Barista blend, which is taste-wise my favorite as well. So I hope this helps you get an idea if this is for you or not. Other uses you can do for this foam, you could do top hot chocolate, hot tea, make a London fog. You can make lattes. So you can make it in here and you could heat this up, and not this whole thing, but you could put it in a cup and heat it up in the microwave or heat it up on the stove if you wanted to. So I hope this helps you and look forward to talking to you about more cool products.